Dragon Ball Daima episode 13 has finally been released, and as its title implies, it was quite the unexpected surprise. However, for me personally, it wasn't a delightful one. We can delve into that a bit later. Now that this episode has concluded, it's time to look forward to what episode 14 has in store, especially since the series is edging closer to its conclusion rather than its beginning. It seems that we've reached a pivotal moment where Goku finds himself in jeopardy as they attempt to escape, or more precisely, move towards the first demon world. You'll get a glimpse of episode 14 and other intriguing details, so make sure to stick around until the end, as what's coming next is bound to catch your interest and you'll likely want to express your thoughts. In the upcoming Dragon Ball Daima episode, after successfully fleeing the planet of the Megas, these gentle yet gigantic creatures that struck fear into everyone, Goku and his companions continued their quest towards the first demon world in search of the final Dragon Ball. Upon their arrival with Warp Sama, they discover he is out of commission, making their passage to the first world impossible, thereby leaving them in a precarious situation. The challenges persist, and this time it appears Goku will bear the brunt of it, ending up severely injured and in dire condition, plummeting from a significant height. Prior to this, it seems the now diminutive Saiyan will push his abilities to the brink, though with unfavorable consequences. Stranded in the second realm while being pursued by the military police without the aid of Warp Sama. And now with Goku wounded, I'll provide you with a brief preview of the forthcoming episode number 14, which unfolds as follows. After escaping the daunting world of the giant Megas, Goku and his allies find themselves unable to progress to the first realm. Warp Sama is malfunctioning. Someone has sabotaged it. Goku pushes his power to its limits with the determined goal to advance into the first demon world. The outcome is a Goku in poor condition who will have to rely on consuming a rejuvenating insect after being left in such a compromised state. That was just a short preview of what the next episode holds. To fully grasp this teaser, because it truly is quite brief, I think the issue with Warp Sama might be his energy deprivation. When Dejesu pulls the lever, Warp Sama powers down, and it's noted that it was disabled. If it operates on a steady energy flow, coupled with the visuals from episode 14, it would be logical, especially given the limited episodes remaining, that Goku becomes seriously injured by expending a significant portion of his energy. This could be an ideal time for the Saiyan to utilize Phase 3, providing an ample amount of keep to Warp Sama, activating it in the process, and thus enabling them to progress into the first demon world. I know you might wonder why Vegeta didn't assist. The answer is straightforward. Vegeta, having recently employed Super Saiyan 3, might be seriously depleted of energy. And remember, he refused to consume the insect because, as he put it, he's sophisticated now. The lack of energy doesn't quite explain Goku's physical injuries, but there might have been an overload leading to an explosion, which would justify Goku's fall from heights with such injuries and complete exhaustion. Having discussed episode 14 and fulfilling the weekly preview, a win and Ancha, I want to dedicate a few words to the unexpected episode 13, which, as I mentioned at the start, certainly lived up to its surprising title. The 13th episode was indeed unexpected, but I'm uncertain if it was positive. Essentially, we had a filler episode, something unforeseen given that we're more than halfway through the series, and the only segments that genuinely contributed to the storyline were the journey to the first demon world and the disabling of Warp Sama. Additionally, the interaction between Glorio and Rinsu, which I anticipated would occur in this episode, but everything else was simply unprecedented, a filler in its entirety. You could even argue that the episode was utterly squandered. By the time it concluded, I was in disbelief. I perceived the episode as a demonstration of the series' exceptional animation quality, yet it contributed virtually nothing, merely a touch more history to the demon world's races, which isn't necessarily bad, but considering the series will only have 20 episodes. It's unrealistic to have such filler in episode 13 out of 20. Perhaps I'm being overly critical, but it seemed excessive to me. I'm not suggesting that the events with the giant were dull, but I believe they were unnecessary. They could have included a brief scene explaining who these creatures were and moved on, but instead they dedicated an entire episode to it. It was excessive, particularly with the Warp Sama incident. So I wouldn't be astonished if half of episode 14 focuses on Goku and the others attempting to enter the first demon kingdom, which will further decelerate the narrative. Speaking of deceleration, I think we've had enough of the plane journeys. This has been the primary factor delaying the series' progression: broken planes, engine issues, switching vehicles, and so on. We understand the Demon Kingdom is stunning, the animation, the landscape is all of it. But the series needs to progress. They should fly or have Goku use teleportation or something similar. I'm not demanding that every episode be filled with battles, transformations, and colorful hair, not at all. But as I reiterate, it's a 20-episode series, we're on episode 13, and there are still numerous elements missing. It wouldn't be appealing if from episodes 15 to 20, they hastily crammed everything together to the point where we can't comprehend anything, like what occurred with the Tamagami, with 2 fights simultaneously resolved in one episode. In summary, this isn't meant as a harsh critique or anything of the sort. It's just that I think episode 13 was a missed opportunity. Be cautious. This isn't solely my viewpoint. In the few hours following its release, I read many similar comments, to the extent that some have claimed it's a replica of episode 6 of Dragon Ball GT. I don't recall it vividly, so I can't confirm if that's accurate, but I reiterate, I don't think the episode was bad. It wouldn't be problematic if it were a series with 24 episodes or more, but since that isn't the case, I found it entirely unnecessary at this juncture. After it continues, I wouldn't be surprised if Daima has a second season or a second part. But after this is mere speculation, I'll keep it as a personal thought. I'm curious about your opinions on the matter. The episode at times felt so inconsequential that there's almost nothing to explain. The scenario with Gom as an antagonist is simply disheartening, at least for now. The giants were striking, but not sufficiently to merit an entire episode. Now we must wait and see if Goku will resort to using Super Saiyan 3, as I previously mentioned, to energize Warp Sama and see if they can enter the next kingdom and commence resolving everything. As I mentioned earlier, I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Do you believe Goku will use Super Saiyan 3 in the next episode? Is it the right time to witness this transformation, given that only 6 episodes remain? Or would it be more appropriate to see it later in a confrontation against the Majin and Moju? Do you think it was an unnecessary filler? I'm asking this irrespective of your opinion on the animation. I won't comment on the animation, it's improving with each episode, and I believe they showcased it in this one too. If you were to rate episode 13 on a scale from 1 to 10, what score would you give it? Before you respond, please, if you enjoyed, found it beneficial, and were entertained by this preview and analysis of the episode with me, give it a thumbs up. It's just a click, it takes a second, and it greatly helps me, so I'm counting on your support. After giving it a thumbs up, I look forward to reading your opinions, feelings, reactions, and what the episode left you with, along with your expectations for episode 14, which will be released next week, down in the comments so we can discuss this topic together. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or share it. After share it from my Instagram, you might be featured in the shout out section at the end of the next video. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to explore it, watch some videos, and if you like what you see, subscribe after subscribing so you don't miss any videos of your favorite series. After I'm signing off now.